Sweden is considered to be one of the most beautiful countries in the world. So it stands to reason that its shooting grounds are some of the most beautiful too.
Like, this really is just stunning.
Welcome to southern Sweden and Susegårdens Shooting School, which I was lucky enough to visit whilst touring the Aimpoint factory last year. Today, we're going to explore this picturesque facility whilst shooting a heap of clays and learning about Swedish shooting culture.
We're going to address the elephant in the room. You're not Swedish.
No, I'm English, but I've been here at Susegården since 2000, and I did take a little expat for 4 years when I went back to be ground manager at the West London. So, but really 2000 to where we are today.
What is Sweden like for shotgun shooting?
There's a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of game to shoot. Ptarmigan up in the north, and then gradually coming down there's obviously the ground game, there's roe deer, fox, there's hares.
A lot of geese, right?
A lot of geese in certain places, yep, for sure. And then from a driven perspective, there's a lot of duck shot. There are still estates providing driven pheasant shooting, and also in places there are grey partridge as well.
We can't shoot lead.
True.
What's that like for clays?
Absolutely fine. I think with cartridge technology or steel cartridge technology, it's moved on so much from the early days. I struggle to see the difference now.
Most of Scandinavia has been at it for a while,
yep.
And pretty much everyone over here will put steel through any gun. They're way less fussy and conscious than Brits.
Really, yeah. I mean, from our experience, we see a whole range of guns, extremely old to very modern, and for us, the emphasis on the choke. Of course, we're only shooting a 24, even a 21 gram, but as long as it's not choked tighter than a half, we, touch wood, have seen no problems here on the shooting school. So,
sporting clays mostly here, right?
No, really education for hunters.
Okay.
And I say hunters because there is a huge culture of going out and shooting for food.
Yeah.
So
hunting. Proper hunting.
Yeah, exactly right. Of course, we do have recreational shooting or clay shooting, and there is a small percentage of people who compete, but not by any means on the scale that the UK has.
You've got a lot of stands. Where are we going to start? What's the plan?
I think let's start on some sort of mid-range targets just to get you nice and comfortable, and then we'll just gradually crank it up a little bit.
Increase the pain level.
Yeah,
until
exactly.
I cry.
That's what you're here for.
Yeah, crying.
Good. Today, I'd been lucky enough to borrow a friend's custom long-stocked 686, fitted with an Acro S2. It's not often I can borrow a gun that fits, and this really made the whole experience a lot sweeter.
How many stations have you got?
So we've got 19 stations, and we try to have a minimum of 3 traps on each station so that we can just add the variety and keep people...
Yeah, you can spend a bit of time there, you've got...
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I think maximum is 6 traps. One could say a hunting compact, if you like.
Yeah, this is an interesting looking piece of ground. What was it before?
So it used to be an old granite quarry, and back in the old days there was no vegetation at all. Literally, it was grey granite.
Probably a bit easier to work with.
It was easier, but in the summer the heat bounced off the rock, so
wow.
This is a much cooler place to work in now than it used to be in the old days. So
feels very Swedish, right? There's rocks, there's trees.
Yeah, we're in the right place. Just nipping across the top of the trees, Johnson. Here it comes. Sorry, Johnny. Here it comes now.
Have you ever played with one of these?
Occasionally, but rarely.
Found anything? I mean, I find that it's almost no difference in terms of my result, which is kind of an interesting thing, right?
Yeah. For me, it always lives on my rifle. I love my Aimpoint on my rifle. Absolutely. But maybe I'm a little bit traditional and haven't given it enough practice time on the shotgun.
Yeah, right. And from what you were saying earlier, like most people who own and run a shooting ground, don't shoot a lot.
No, quite right. Do you want to put that little combination together? just
I think as a report pair to start. Yeah.
Yeah, for
Well, it's begging to be shot as a sim pair. You got plenty of time with both.
there is.
Yeah, that second target's big and scary.
Yeah, but I think when it's holding its line, it's an easier target. So one's got to have a bit of trust with it.
Yes, definitely.
Get on and kill it.
And not give it too much beans like that first shot.
No.
We'll try it both ways, shall we?
Well executed.
Oh, this feels like old-fashioned English sporting. It's nice. I kind of like it. I haven't seen clays like this in a little while.
Yeah, I mean, from all my experience back at the West London, we hosted the World Championships back at the Embassy World Championship. So, gosh, what was that? Was that 98, something like that? So I'm a great believer of sort of classic English sporting targets, and link that with the game shooting. This is the result that we have here at Susegården.
Right, well, one station down. Let's
move on.
Yeah.
Good. Sorry, yeah, that's right.
Oh, okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Well done.
Right, back off, get above. Back off, get above.
Pressure.
In the next county, right?
Yeah,
so you
absolutely.
power.
Yeah. And it's actually the line that's the subtlety to that one. It's not the lead at all. So
Yeah, I started the move there. I was like, no, back off, give it more. And it probably looked really messy, but it broke, so we'll take it out.
it'll be on camera. So
Well, I should see if I can break it again and
Come on.
with a bit more style and panache.
sure. Well done. Well done. Good continuation.
Because you've got this amazing terrain here, you could literally fool anyone into anything. That horizon looks quite level, but actually when you start paying attention, it's really not in the trees. And so that clay is rising way harder than
Definitely.
it would appear. Oh, I need two more. I can't
No
leave
problem.
that defeated.
Yeah. Continue. Well.
I will end on that, shall we?
Oh, what
Shall we
a
end on that?
great shot to end on.
I honestly think that everything about that target told me to kill it where I was trying to kill it. But actually when it rolled off, showed a bit more face.
Yeah, you had the
Slowed down a little. I felt like I could just put the shot into it.
So you got a little bit more travelling time, get to know the bird a little bit more.
Less pressure from my perspective. Not the shot you'd want, but
Got the result.
yeah, right. It happens so often with clays, though, doesn't it? Is you'll look at it and go, get kind of addicted to the point that you think you should kill it, rather than when you're failing, readdressing.
That's a little bit like the FITASC plan A, and then also having a plan B, as to that's my primary place, but I need to have my backup place as well.
It probably should have walked in there and just had full use on that, and then maybe I would have figured that out 10 shots earlier and saved us all a lot of time.
For sure. So here we come to one of the most popular stations. This is serviced by sort of 6 traps usually. What we can find is a whole team of shooters just shooting at like driven targets.
You have a little flurry.
Targets. Definitely, yeah. So come and enjoy yourself.
All right. Like, this really is just stunning. Geographically perfect. You put just enough infrastructure in for it to be cool. I've heard, obviously, internationally, this ground's quite famous. That's
From a Swedish perspective.
from a Swedish perspective. But when there's only 2 grounds here, they're going to be famous, right? Yeah. Well,
Lovely. Great.
good, classy 30-yard pheasant.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
We're certainly ramping up the skill level a little now. I was feeling like a god this morning.
You're a skillful man. So
Yeah, well, don't know who told you that.
sorry for the delay.
No, I usually shoot with people who are out to trip me up, so this is like perfect for me.
Not my goal.
I don't feel good when someone presses the button on time nowadays, you know?
exactly.
Ever so slightly.
So from my perspective, I'd encourage anybody to look hard at the right edge.
Am I shorting that?
Yeah, absolutely. Just a little bit more continuation after the bang. Well
that
done.
needed a lot more than I
It's up there.
first got it there. It's up there.
Yeah. Have another go. Now that you've found it, go right. That's 10 centimetres left-hand side.
Yeah. There's a lot of trust put in place for that miss. Yeah, interesting with the Aimpoint, and I've really enjoyed shooting it in a lot of scenarios. The driven stuff, I usually disconnect a lot from the gun with shooting driven because I can just look at the target and I'll float the gun a lot more.
Yeah.
That, out of all things, probably is going to take a little bit more relearning. Standard sporting, I'm really connected to the gun. Everything kind of feels about right. But
yeah.
It's amazing that the holes that this points out in my standard techniques. Usually I just look at the target and then just,
Yeah. Whilst we're here, this is a much gentler target from the left. Still climbing.
You make me feel better.
You're damn right. It's a confidence sport.
Yeah, they're quite.
Because I'm going to show you that bird from a completely different angle, and then it's a little bit of a menace.
In true Fitask style, we're going to try and shoot it from here.
Absolutely. Different angle, completely different character.
Well, it's quite nice shooting it in the face.
Yeah, exactly. Now we're going to look over those silverbirds.
I mean, to let you all know that Sasha, because we're filming and we take an extra minute, the sun's now out. It was really easy a second ago. Now the sun is exactly in the kill point, but that's going to be a good test of me and the equipment, right? Oh, horrible shot. But I was inherently having to make sure, because the gun wants to come up, but you also know it doesn't want to go down. And you're seeing a sliver of an edge of a target that's 25, 30 yards away.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Good distance and lead on it as well. Right. Good target. I guess the terrain just allows you to throw stuff that is way more deceptive than if you just had a flat field.
Really, yeah. And we're when we did host competitions, we never needed to beat people with speed and distance. It was just angle and subtlety, and that was terrific fun from a design perspective. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a real blessing, right?
Yeah. Right. We're very, very.
Are you going to hold competitions again one day?
Come
on.
Considering it, yeah. Consider it. Then you'll have to come over and join us.
I mean, I would come over and join you for that. It's definitely worth it, right?
I mean, you were born here, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, I was born here in this very quarry.
You're a native.
Yeah, I am native. I'm as native as you are. This is one of the nicest grounds I've ever been to. And I don't say that lightly. This feels just... it's beautiful.
Being from a relatively flat part of England, this ever-changing terrain was a real novelty, as well as a new challenge in reading targets.
It's not got any pretentiousness about it, but everything's quality. The terrain's epic. The variety from stand to stand that's a big deal. There's plenty of places, certainly the flatter places, every stand's kind of similar. Here, everything is different. The background's different, the trees are different, the distance to the target might be the same, but it looks completely different. It's a good... I love it.
Thanks for that.
Should be proud.
Yeah, great. Well done. Good, good. Okay, the bee moves across you. Have a little look.
Well,
Very nice. One more.
horrible shot. Floaty targets really are a lot of people's bogey, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. Especially when it just appears. You know, there's not a lot of sort of pickup time.
Yeah, like the standard phrase is to shoot its back edge, which always sounds ridiculous, but
yes,
it's a phrase that really helped me.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Now. Well done.
They felt like lucky breaks.
And finally, see straight over the top.
It would have been wrong to come to Sweden and not actually shoot with someone who's Swedish. This is your local shooting ground. In fact, we're here because we just filmed an Aimpoint factory tour.
Yeah, it's not our local shooting ground, but it's fairly close to Malmö, where we have our headquarters. So we go here for main events and training. That's where we go.
It is beautiful.
It is, I would say, one of the best, if not the best, grounds in Sweden.
What is clay shooting like in Sweden? Giles says it's not like big competition-wise.
I mean, compact sporting and English sporting, it's getting more popular. But I would say that skeet and trap and high pheasants and that is the way to do it in Sweden. But luckily enough, we have grounds like this.
This is a beautiful place.
It is. It is really, really beautiful. So let's see what we got here.
Are you going to go first, or?
I can go first.
Go on. I'm warmed up.
Yeah.
Being that we just come from the factory, I've obviously got my new Aimpoint on the gun.
Yeah.
What setting should I have it in? I just had it on, what's that, one?
Well, that is depending on your lighting conditions. So now it's fairly bright. You got a almost blue sky. So you want to put it up a notch.
Okay, so you should have a play accordingly.
Yeah, definitely.
I remember last time I didn't like it too bright. It became quite obvious, but
now if it's darker, then you want to take it down.
Okay. Yeah. It's personal preference.
It is a personal preference.
Turn it up until you hit, right?
You will hit regardless.
Usually I'd have my gun set up quite high, see a lot of rib, see a dot. You could have put the dot low.
Yeah, I mean you could use a pattern plate to set it with pattern you want.
Okay, so you could float the target on the red dot. Yeah, I could quite happily set my pattern 100% high, have the bottom of my pattern on the top of the red dot.
Yeah, if you want that, yeah.
And there's no disadvantage.
Well, I mean, you would need to remember it, of course.
That's a good point. I'll tell you what, I felt more confident today with the Aimpoint than I've ever felt before. I'm really kind of finding the confidence to just look through the dot, feel the dot, and just make the move.
Yeah.
And I found, for me, making everything a bit quicker has helped that.
Yeah.
Not trying to dilly-dally, is that fair?
No, I mean, it is a point of reference. You can use it in that way, so yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like trusting my hand speed, trusting where the dot is, and just going for it. Whereas I think before I was trying to paint the picture with the dot and expand it from the target.
Getting really comfortable.
But, yeah, definitely feeling more confident to just trust the dot now.
Our trip to Sweden will always be one to remember. Not in the least because of the morning we spent here at Susegården with Giles and Peder.
Sight issue. It did 0.
Not only did we have a heap of fun, but I learned all about Swedish shotgun culture, increased my confidence in the shotgun red dot, and got to tick clay shooting in Sweden off my bucket list. A big thank you to Giles for showing me round, to Peder and Aimpoint for making it all happen, and to you for joining me on this adventure. If you haven't seen our Aimpoint factory tour yet, go check it out.
Right, it's people. Yep, not machines. Yep. Thank you for watching, guys. This channel is made possible by our amazing sponsors. You can find out more about them in the description down below. And if you want to support the channel, you can join as a member. You get loads of extra content, well, some extra content, and occasionally we hook up and go clay shooting together as a membership group. If you don't feel like joining today, we really appreciate you watching and subscribing. Have a wonderful day.